Hi everyone, hope you're all keeping safe in these really hot temperatures. Just a quick one today. Just going to talk a couple of key considerations when we're moving to the cloud. A couple of comments that I come across quite a lot, or rather an assumption and a question. One is, my content, whatever that may be, it's in the cloud, it's safe because of this. I should make a big assumption. The other question I get is my content and my data safe in the cloud? So it's a big topic, this, and I just want to put a few thoughts out there just to start today. And it's a conversation that will go on for a long time. So just a couple of quick thoughts here on those points, that assumption, that question. For me, really, it's all about context. And a lot of this comes down to, what are you comparing the cloud with? Because if you're making this assumption or this question, usually it's because you're coming from another place. And quite often that's an on-premise environment of some description, whether it's in your own data center or a hosted data center somewhere. It could be a server rack in the corner of the office, but whatever it is. People are worried about moving to the cloud because they can see that in the corner. They can see that box in the corner, flashing away. It's there. It's in the office. It's safe. I've got control. So, with that in mind, think what you're coming from. Think what you're going to. So let's pick up first that assumption. My content is in the cloud. It's got to be safe. Microsoft do all the security work. They're always telling us how secure their cloud is, all the great tools they've got in it. And absolutely, it's true. And Microsoft are continually now getting recognized as a top security partner. But let's put a comparison here. So my content's in the cloud. It's safe. A big thing you've got to think about here, shared responsibility. And shared responsibility is where Microsoft will take a certain amount of steps, or any cloud provider for that matter, to put security into their data centers and the services they provide. Absolutely. But they will also make a lot of tools available for you. And it's up to you to then choose the tools that suit you best and meet your risks the most appropriately. And this is the shared responsibility. So partially it's on the cloud provider, without a doubt, but also it's partially incumbent on you. So, again, is it safe because it goes to the cloud? Arguably, I would say yes, but it does depend on how you move it there and what tools you've deployed. There's no point moving to the cloud and having no MFA on your Microsoft 365 accounts. Having really bad passwords and no MFA and so on and so on. Because you're just as vulnerable, if not more. But if you deploy the tools and ensure there's all the user identity checks in place, there's MFA and the many other tools, then obviously that's probably a lot more security than you could actually attain from your on-premise environment. So the flip side of that is that assumption is, is it safe in the cloud? And again, I would say largely yes, but it's that context. What are you coming from? And the next comment I hear from people is, I'm not sure it would be safe in the cloud. I'm not sure if I trust Microsoft. I can see that box in the corner flashing away. So think of this. Microsoft spend billions on their data centers. So from a platform level, the security they've got in place on these things, it's going way more than most people have got, if not all people, on their on-premise environments. Will that 10-year-old server that you've got collecting dust in the corner of your room, how can you say that is more secure than a modern data center? It just can't be. So compare the two. Make sure you're comparing apples and apples, not apples and pears. So also, that old on-premise server and infrastructure you've got, what security have you got around that? Are you using the latest AI-driven security and monitoring that will help secure it? Again, it's very hard, not impossible, but very hard to actually attain that same level on-premise compared to the tooling available in the cloud. So is your content safe, and do I trust Microsoft with it? Again, there's a lot you can do, but it's that context. You have to look and say, well, actually being realistic, if I'm coming from that rattly old box that's 10 years old, it's not getting security updates. Let's face it, that is not secure. And then when we combine that with all the tools we can get in the cloud, plus all the extra privacy controls that are available, it starts making a much more compelling case. But do think about that context. Think about when you're comparing cloud to what you've currently got and deciding, is that from a compliance point of view a good move? Think about what you've got. I challenge most people to say they wouldn't come out better in favour of the cloud unless they go and invest an awful lot of money into updating that on-premise environment. So it's all relative. Just a couple of thoughts there on that today, just to put out there. As I said, it's a huge topic. We can talk all day about this. There's a lot of nuances to it, a lot of pros, cons, different scenarios. Always happy to have those conversations. Drop them in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos like this or any around different technologies, how we can use them, particularly from security and compliance perspective, do hit a like and subscribe, and we'll get some more videos out soon. Thanks.